Hi everybody, welcome to Dandelion Cottage and Watercolor Wednesday. I'm Leslie Watkins. Just checking my volume here. So it feels like it's been a little while. I've just returned from a trip out west, which was wonderful. So if you weren't here last week, that's where I was in Arizona. And today, for Watercolor Wednesday, I thought what I would do would be to share a little bit about my watercolor kit that I use when I do plein air painting and when I travel. And then also, I have some show and tell because I've gotten a lot of birthday cards and I haven't even opened them up yet. I thought I would do that with you and that we do it together. So I'm going to have that at the end of the watercolor kit. So here's what it currently looks like. So I've just got this little, this is actually a Stampin' Up! Bag, and I love this bag. It's a wonderful size. I love the material and the color, and it's got this nice strong strap that you can wear over your shoulder. So if you're scrambling around and climbing through the rocks or the woods or whatever, you can just, put this cross body and let the bag rest on your back. For this particular trip, it wasn't quite big enough. And so you see I've got my water cup kind of precariously hooked to this ring over here, and that could easily come off. And it's actually chock full of stuff. So I am in the process of getting a upgrade to my bag. Prior to this, I just had a tote bag that didn't close on the top. And when I go through airport security and all that sort of thing, I want to be able to have something that closes or zips or has some sort of fastener. So this was not ideal. It's pretty great for doing something right around local areas, not so great for traveling, but I love it anyway. So this is my water cup, and I love this water cup. It's just like kind of an antique beat up tin cup that I got in a cabin in Maine by the coast, and so it has a lot of sentimental value to me, but it's also just the right size and it's not breakable, so I love it for that. Now you could use a plastic container like this. Okay, so one of these sort of deli containers works fine. You could also get a half pint if you wanted to conserve space, and really any kind of container that you can fit into your kit will work just fine. There's a lot of collapsible cups and that sort of thing available from art stores, but for me, I like to use this. And you will no doubt find your favorite things as well. So in my bag, I've got a sketchbook, and I like this sketchbook because I like the size of it. It's a 9" by 6", and that's a pretty good size for doing a quick watercolor sketch out of doors. It's got this great big spiral binding, which makes it great for flipping over and not having to wrestle with the extra pages. It is called heavyweight drawing paper, but it does say for use with wet and dry media. So it will take a light wash. It's not going to take a heavy wash like you would do wet and wet back home in your studio, but this is plenty good enough for doing something out and about. And most importantly, it has a natural pH archival paper, which is what you want. You want something that's not going to yellow and crack over time. So this particular book is made by B Paper, It's called The Only Sketchbook You Will Ever Need, Super Deluxe, and it comes in all different sizes. They have even smaller ones. So if you like to work very quickly and just want to do a little thumbnail, you could do that as well. And I've got a couple of pictures in here that I painted in Arizona that I'm going to share with you in just a few minutes. The other thing I have is my hat. So when you're out painting and you're in the sun, you must have a hat with a brim. It could be a straw hat. I have a whole collection of great big straw hats that have wide 3 and 4 inch and maybe even 5 inch brims. This hat is new. I just got this at the Grand Canyon, and while we were there were ravens everywhere, and they were so wonderful. I fell in love with the ravens, and so I had to have the raven hat. So I'm really thrilled with this, and it fits really well. It's fully adjustable, and I love it. So this is my new favorite hat. I have a handful of paper towels in case I need them. I've got my water bottle, just an old plastic bottle. I keep this one because it's very thin. It weighs nothing, empty, and it's just the right size. Not too big, not too small. So I can replenish my cup maybe 2-3 times with that amount of water. I keep some small brushes and some pencils in a travel toothbrush case, and I like these because they have that little air hole at the top for ventilation, so it helps to protect your brushes. It also allows them to dry out, and hopefully it keeps moths out of there. These are sable brushes, and for those of you who don't know, you can lose a brush to a moth laying its eggs on your brushes if you don't use them for a long time. That has never happened to me. I use my brushes all the time, but it's good to put them in a protected place. Let's see what else I have in here. I have this little clipboard, and on here I have my better quality watercolor paper. So this is a very good 90-pound hot press watercolor paper, and I just have it clipped on this little clipboard for when I want to do something on nicer paper. And I've just got that tucked into this Ziploc bag to keep it protected. And that's just about it. The bag is empty. The last thing I have is I've got a terry bar mop that I use all the time when I paint. You can see it's been well used. And I've got my little travel kit. Now I have a pretty big collection of various sizes and styles of watercolor palettes, but this is my favorite one. Actually, I shouldn't say that because every time I pull a different one out, I say it's my favorite one. But at the moment, this is my favorite one. And what I like about this one is that it just contains enough colors for me to do pretty much anything I want to do. So this palette is based on the traditional British watercolor palette. I've got 3 primary colors, and then I've got a bunch of earth colors, including an extra blue. So I've got 2 blues, and I've got 2 yellows, a pure color, an earth color, 2 reds, and then I've got my deep umbers over here. And these are the same 3 primary colors that you see me using all the time. This is my very basic yellow, red, and blue. I like these because they mix extremely well together. They're permanent, they're light fast, they're professional grade colors, and they're wonderful. And if you're interested in learning more about all of this, then I would like to invite you to join the Watercolor Card Club, which is a monthly lesson in painting a new subject each month, and on the private Facebook group we've got a lot of resources there, so all the different materials, where to get them, how to use them, just jam-packed with a lot of different things. So check that out, and you can find that on my website at dandelioncottagedesign.com. Just go there and look for the tab for the Watercolor Card Club. Okay, and then in my case here I have this wonderful travel brush, and the case creates the handle, and this is a very nice sized red sable. They call it an 8. You will find that various brush manufacturers have slightly different sizes of the tips. This is a fairly standard size 8, although I have seen larger ones. But in any event, it's a really nice all-around brush because it's big enough to do a quick wash, and it also has a fine enough point so that you can put in some details. And that is it. So that is my little travel set, and I'll show you next the pictures I did while I was away. And you can see, if I sort of pack this all together, you can see how big the equipment is. So that's what makes watercolor such a wonderful medium, that it's so easy to take with you, and it's such a quick and easy cleanup. And that is Cersei saying hello. All right, so then, this was a whirlwind trip. I was only gone for a few days. The first part of the trip I was in a business training group that was wonderful, had a fabulous time and learned a lot in Phoenix, Arizona. And then for my birthday, we headed up to the south rim of the Grand Canyon, where I've never been before. And it was fantastic. I mean, truly it was fantastic. So we spent about 2.5 days on the south rim exploring and taking lots of pictures, doing, I was able to do one painting, and then we headed south to Sedona, and just at the southern end of Sedona there's an area called Oak Creek, and that's where we stayed. And just about every direction that you look in Sedona is a fantastic view. I mean, it's just, you cannot look in any direction and see a bad view to paint from. So those are the two pictures I did. So let me find my pages. So this is the south rim of the Grand Canyon, and it was pretty cold. It was about 30 degrees. It was all snowy. So I painted this one from inside the car, and it was so interesting because this particular view is from a place that's called Moran's Point, and Moran's Point is named for the famous American landscape painter Thomas Moran. And if you're not familiar with his work, please Google Thomas Moran artist and take a peek. He is one of my most favorite artists, has been for decades. And it just so happened, unbeknownst to me, because I'd never been to the Grand Canyon before, that some of his paintings were hanging in the place that we stayed at the El Tovar Lodge, and there were Thomas Moran paintings in there, so that was thrilling. And so the day after we arrived, on February 12th, we went to Moran Point, and I did this little picture. I didn't know it at the time, but on February 12th was the anniversary of his birthday, which blew my mind because the day before was my birthday, and here I was at Moran Point on his birthday doing this beautiful view. So that was really special to me. But what I'd like to point out to you about this painting is that it's just a very quick impression. Okay, I didn't spend a lot of time on it. I was able to do it from the car with my watercolor kit that I just showed you. And if you go to my personal Facebook page, you'll be able to see some photos of me actually painting in the car and my setup. And it's a way to capture color notes. So I wasn't trying to do an exact replication of the scene. I was trying to get an impression of what I was looking at. And so this, if I chose to, would help me to create a larger composition. So this is what I would call a quick plein air sketch. And you save these things because someday you may want to use them to create a larger painting. But this is my method of quick note taking. Then we traveled to Sedona, which is a couple of hours south of the south rim of the Grand Canyon. And I did this picture, and I did this one from a bench. It was actually a memorial bench for someone near this area called Bell Rock. And Bell Rock was actually behind me from this view, and it's shaped like a great big bell. And it was just a perfect place for me to sit and do a quick study. And what I wanted to do in this picture was to see if I could capture some of the depth of these rocks going back into the distance, but also especially to work on some of the foliage texture in the foreground. So I've got various types of, I'm not sure if they were yuccas or agaves, some prickly pear cactus, and then these wonderful little pine trees. And we had a terrific introduction to some of these plants at the Phoenix Botanical Garden, which is also an amazing place to visit. And if you're in Phoenix, I would really recommend that you check that out. So again, color notes, trying to capture some of these magnificent colors of the rocks, the reds and the ochres, and that's where those earth colors really come in handy, because as you can see in these foreground areas, I use them pretty much full strength. So that is the light red and the yellow ochre, and then just keeping it very simple and you know, creating this sort of atmosphere going back into the distance. Now, while we were there, it was a little bit unusual in that they had a lot of wet weather. So they had rain, and it actually snowed here the night before. The sun had melted off most of the snow, but the ground was wet, and so there were places where you actually got these beautiful, rich, deep colors because the ground was wet. But also the other thing about it is that I think there was more moisture in the air than usual, and so it was a little more atmospheric. I mean, you can see that there were clouds in the sky, and if there wasn't so much moisture in the air, the sky would have been much more vivid, and these colors would have been less atmospheric. So that was what I did while I was out west. I'm going to take a quick look at the comments, see if anybody has any questions. And I see Emma, and she says it's cold and rainy in California. And, oh, wait a second, I'm on the wrong page. Hang on. Let's try that again. All right, I'm looking for my, where am I? Oh my goodness. I hope you all can see me. All right, there it comes up. There, now I've got Cheryl, and she says, foggy morning here in Montana. Looks like you had a great trip. It was fantastic, Cheryl. I can't wait to see Montana. And Beverly says, a beautiful rendition of your moment in time. Well, you know, Bev, you're exactly right. And that reminds me of maybe the most important part of doing these studies, especially when you travel. I love to bring my watercolor kit with me when I'm traveling, because as you sit there for an hour or two painting, and you're looking so carefully at everything, and it's not just what you see, but it's what you smell and what you hear, and the temperature, and how the day feels, and the people you meet, the animals that you see. All of those things become cemented in your memory, whereas if you were to take just a snapshot, you would forget it in no time. But when you're actually out there and you're creating your impression of what's happening around you, it creates a lifelong memory. And then when you go back to your sketchbook and you pull up one of these pages, it brings you right back there. It brings you right back to that moment in time. Now, I did add some notes just because I would never remember the dates otherwise. So you can see I've got the near Bell Rock and the date, and Sedona, Arizona. So you can add whatever. You could use your sketchbook as a journal and write in it along with your pictures. So it's just a super good way of remembering these experiences that we have. Sandra says she enjoyed my adventures. Well, thank you very much, Sandra. I hope that one of these days we go on an adventure together, maybe a painting retreat here in Connecticut. You'd like to join us. That would be a lot of fun. And Bev says her granddaughter lives in Sedona and is getting married, and she's hoping to go there soon. Well, Beverly, check out, if you haven't already, check out some of the places that I went to on my personal Facebook page. We went to a really fun restaurant and that I liked very much. And you really don't need any tips. There's just so much to do that as soon as you arrive, you're going to want to do some exploring. So, get your hiking boots and your hat with a brim, and bring your watercolors. All right, so the second thing I want to share with you are some of these birthday cards that I got. So I got them late. If you were somebody that sent me a birthday card, thank you very much. It took me about a week or so, maybe a little longer, before I was able to get to the post office. So I haven't even opened them up yet. So I'm just going to go through them and share them with you because I thought you'd like that. Here's one that I love. Look what she did here. She used a Stamp and Write marker, and I believe this is the Moody Mauve because everything is matching so beautifully. And she addressed it to me in that ink that matches the stamp ink with this wonderful hummingbird. And sneak peek, we're going to be having a hummingbird workshop where I'm going to show you how to paint a hummingbird and what you can do with the image, because there's a die cut that goes along with this stamp set, and so we're going to have a lot of very fun projects with that. So that's coming right up, so stay tuned. The other thing that I loved is she's even found a stamp that coordinates, and so the envelope alone is a treat. So that's very exciting. And here is the color coordinated card to go along with that envelope. And look how beautiful that is. So she's gold heat embossed the stamped images, so I think you can see that shiny gold. And she's popped up the hummingbird on dimensionals. And then also this bundle comes with this amazing label set. And I don't know if I have it handy. Let me see if I do. No, I think it's across the room right now. But I will be featuring this very soon. It's just beautiful. So look at that. And that's got this lovely kind of gold border. And she's got these very pretty, I think they're Lost Lagoon pearls. I'm not sure the name of those embellishments. But this is a card that comes from Julia, and it's just wonderful. And of course she stamped the inside as well. So thank you so much, Julia. I love that. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, let's see. This card is from Susan. Oh, it's so cute. She's got a little bird on the card, and she's used this gorgeous fern embossing folder. I hope you can see that pretty well. You should be able to see that. Oh, how nice. I love using the die cuts on the inside of the cards. And she's used a gorgeous framelit to cut out this layer that has this wonderful stitching detail along the edge. And so Susan says, wishing you every happiness this special day will bring. So thank you so much, Susan. I love it. So elegant in the Night of Navy. Now I've got a card from Candy, and check out that little stamp. Adorable. Little kitten with a heart. And she's also stamped the front of the envelope, and again using matching ink. Oh, the lovely lavender set. Look how beautiful that is. Okay, so this is the special glimmer paper that's available right now. And then what she's done is, actually, I think she's used some of the pieces from the lovely lavender paper pumpkin. So last month, this is the paper pumpkin. This is a subscription box that you get. Well, you can subscribe for as many times as you like. It could be a one-off, or it could be 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, whatever you like. But it is a all-inclusive paper crafting kit. And each month you're surprised. You never know what's going to be in here. And I haven't even opened this up yet, but I have taken the instructions out. And you can see what last month's projects were. And you get all of this stuff inside the kit. And so yes, I can see that that label, sorry, I'm losing my voice, that label is the same as this one. And of course she has used it as an alternate, and she's redesigned it, which is another wonderful thing that you can do with the paper pumpkin set, is use the pieces in a way other than what is shown in the instructions. And then also there was a special die set that was available recently. I think it's still available, and this coordinates with 3 paper pumpkins. So it coordinated with the January, February, and now the March set. So I think that's still available, and you can see that it cuts out this wonderful love and these leaves, and I see that Candy also used the leaves there. Now she's created an easel card, so let me just move this out of the way so you can see. And I have another lovely lavender project I'm going to share with you today also. But look how this works. So you can set that up. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay. And then she's got a note inside. Thank you so much, Candy. I love it. It's absolutely beautiful. I have to get that paper. Okay, now here's an example of a card, and check out that stamp. There's a very cool stamp with the Lunar New Year with the dragon on it. This is from a friend who is an artist, non-Stampin' Up! Artist, and what she did was she took one of the reproductions of one of her paintings and folded it into a triptych, which I love. and then she put a message on the inside. So very cool. I love that. So that's a great way to upcycle some of the promotional or printed pieces that you may have of your art if you're an artist, and use them in another application. So that's really great. So I've got one more to show you, and this one came with a box, and this one came from Charlotte in Texas. And let me see if Charlotte's here. I don't see her here at the moment, but Charlotte, this is amazing. So she sent me this wonderful box, and inside it has a card. So let's check out the card. And she stamped the happy birthday on the envelope. Oh, and she has Make a Wish with the dandelion on the back. Love that. Oh, look how beautiful this is. So this card is covered with all these beautiful little die-cut pieces. And so she's arranged all these flowers and stems and the bees. So some of these are from retired sets. And she's just created this gorgeous collage, but that's not all. She's got a textured background. It looks like it was heat embossed, I'm guessing. So it looks like it was heat embossed, and then she watercolored over the surface to give it this beautiful texture, which I love. She's added the distressed gold specialty paper. She's cut out this layer using the deckled edged dies, which are my favorites, and it's just all too beautiful. And then on the inside, she's written me a beautiful message in gold ink, and she's popped up some more insects, some more of the bumblebees or honeybee, and the this little floral design, and she's doubled up the layers here with this wonderful scalloped contours die set. And then she has these wonderful, it's a bee theme card, and she has these wonderful little expressions that she probably computer generated and then glued down. So thank you so much, Charlotte. It is stunning. She even signed the back and put a little die cut on the back. Absolutely beautiful. This is the kind of thing that, you know, when you make handmade cards, they become miniature works of art, and they become extremely special to the people that you send them to. And look at, I mean, not only do you have fun making the card and then giving it to somebody, but then your recipient has the pleasure of receiving it. So I love it. Thank you very much, Charlotte. All right, now let's see what's in the box. So she's got this all packed up. She's got it wrapped in a protective bag, which is a great idea. And then she's got a note here, and she says, Happy B-E-E birthday, Leslie. your special pin cushion. I made this just for you, with all the things you hold so dear, dandelions, chickens, and busy bees. Oh my. Bringing blessings throughout your year. When the sun shines a little brighter and the snow begins to disappear, the bees are busy buzzing around. Dandelions shine brightly everywhere. So she's actually written me a poem. Charlotte, this is exquisite. Oh, and, oh my goodness gracious. So then she has a little more information on the back. And she says, thank you from our world of just stampers, teaching us to reach beyond what we've done. I'm so blessed to know and have you as my faraway Stampin' Up! Friend, Charlotte. Charlotte, I feel the same way. So thank you. This is really very special. So now she's used this tissue paper and ribbon, and it has bees and gardening, seed packs. It's all wrapped so beautifully and so protected. Beverly says, happy belated birthday. Thank you, Bev. I actually celebrate the entire month of February, so you're not late. Oh, look at this. Oh my. So this is a handmade pin cushion, and she's found some fabric that has dandelions and bees on it. Absolutely adorable. And then she's coordinated that with another fabric, which also has bees and dandelions on it. And look at the stitching on this. Can you see how she's got this sort of window pane stitching, and then she's got this beautiful little heart-shaped button. And then on this side, she's stuck in all these pins. Sorry, I'm moving around a little bit here. But look at this little bee charm pin, and these flowers, and beads, and just here's a gem, and there's a little chick here. She's found a chick pin, and there's the needle with the golden thread. Wow. Really beautiful, Charlotte. You've gone above and beyond, and I'm going to put this right next to my sewing machine. You know, I don't do much fabric stitching, but I do use it for my journal making, and so this is going to go right next to my machine with the pins, and then it has a band around here, some ribbon that has some words on it. So it says hope, dream, wish, and then hope again. Just beautiful, just gorgeous. Well, okay, you've made my day for sure. You've made my birthday month. So I think that covers just about everything I want to share with you today. We're going on about 45 minutes here, so I'm going to end here, and next week we're going to start painting. Now I have a ongoing project in mind. I want to show you how to create a monochromatic journal using various stamp sets and painting with ink, and so I'm going to begin that next week. And then the other thing I want to tell you is that tomorrow, for Paper Crafting Thursday, I'm going to have to move that because I have a dental appointment. So I'm not sure yet what I'm going to schedule that for, if it's going to be later tomorrow or maybe on Friday. So we'll see how that works out. But in any event, no Paper Crafting Thursday tomorrow, and I will post that on the page. So I think that covers everything. Thank you so much for joining with me today. I hope I gave you some ideas of how to put together a simple watercolor kit so that you can get outside and paint. We still have snow and freezing temperatures here in Northwest Connecticut, so it's going to be a little bit longer before we get outside and actually into the garden and painting the things that we find there, but that will be coming up very soon. So I will see you next Wednesday for sure for Watercolor Wednesday right here at 12 noon. Stay well, stay happy, stay creative, and I will see you next time.